The images you are watching now are from Cambodia. Behind those glittering skyscrapers lies an immense darkness, a place where thousands of people are imprisoned, beaten, and forced to work in transnational online scam syndicates. For the past few years, the phrase scam compound has become a nightmare across Asia. These compounds have mushroomed in Phnom Penh, Bavet, Kampot, and Sihanoukville, disguised as tech companies, gaming centers, or casinos. And now, the world has begun to declare war on the scam networks in Cambodia. Currently, hundreds of thousands of people are being detained or forced to work in these scam centers. In Cambodia, a country filled with massive casinos and weak regulation, these operations have become the black heart of the scam network spreading throughout Asia. And as this shadow grew too large to hide, the world could no longer stay silent. One of the loudest voices came from South Korea. In June 2025, the entire country was shaken when a Korean student was tortured to death inside a scam compound in Phnom Penh. He was just in his early 20s, arriving in Cambodia, hoping to find a tech job, but ended up imprisoned, beaten, and worked to exhaustion. Images of his body being returned home for a cold funeral enraged the Korean public. The president of South Korea made a strong statement, declaring that the nation would protect its citizens anywhere in the world, at all costs. Soon after, South Korea formed a special task force to work directly with Cambodian police to locate and rescue kidnapped victims. They even deployed special police officers to Phnom Penh and set up Coriand, a joint investigation office for bilateral operations. Since 2023, the number of Korean kidnapping cases has skyrocketed, from scattered incidents a few years ago to over 200 in 2024, and more than 300 in just the first half of 2025. South Korea has since warned its citizens to avoid traveling to Bavet or Sihanoukville unless absolutely necessary, and has brought the Cambodian scam crisis to international discussions. Alongside Korea, China has taken even stronger actions. The reason is clear. Over 80% of the victims in scam compounds across Cambodia and Myanmar are Chinese nationals. They were deceived through chat groups, fake job apps, or even trapped by fellow countrymen. In October 2025, China launched the largest cross-border crackdown in its history, a campaign often described as the Tiger Crossing Borders. Its main targets were the Khe and Shan regions of Myanmar, home to notorious criminal clans such as the Bai, Wei, Liu, and Ming families. Groups operating almost like miniature states, with armed guards, private compounds, programming teams, and scam training camps. China has also provided significant support to Cambodia, seeing these clans as the source of countless crypto investment scams and fraudulent apps. Furthermore, China began negotiations with Cambodia and Thailand to form a trilateral anti-scam alliance. Chinese tech experts were sent to Cambodia to help dismantle criminal operations centers. With its immense power and resources, China aims not only to protect its citizens, but to eliminate scam networks from the root. While Korea internationalized the issue and China struck hard, Thailand chose to act as a regional coordinator between nations. Positioned between Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, Thailand serves as the gateway through which many victims are trafficked into scam compounds. Therefore, Thailand could not stand by. They launched the Asian Digital Scam Prevention Center, headquartered in Bangkok, directly connecting with the police forces of Korea, China, the US, and Cambodia. At the ASEAN Summit in Malaysia in October 2025, Thailand officially placed the issue on the discussion table, calling for shared cybercrime data and a 24/7 rapid response mechanism. The Thais describe themselves as the security gatekeepers of Southeast Asia, blocking the movements of criminals while also facilitating dialogue between other nations and Cambodia, a country still hesitant to engage in full international cooperation. Across Asia, more and more countries are standing up. No one is willing to stay silent and let the scam epidemic continue to thrive. On the other side of the globe, the United States could no longer stay silent because despite being intelligent and technologically advanced, Americans are also falling victim to scams at alarming rates. In 2023, U.S. citizens lost up to $158 billion to various online fraud schemes, from crypto and investment scams to romance scams. These losses, recorded globally, showed that much of the money trail leads back to Southeast Asia, including Cambodia. The U.S. determined that this is no longer petty crime, but a massive transnational money laundering network. American authorities launched a continent-spanning investigation targeting Chinese-born billionaire Chen Zi, chairman of Prince Holding Group, a major conglomerate in Cambodia. According to U.S. allegations, Chen Zi turned Cambodia into a scam empire, employing thousands of forced laborers in online scam centers while laundering billions of dollars through cryptocurrency and international real estate. As a result, the U.S. seized about $15 billion in crypto assets, the largest asset seizure in American history. Properties linked to Chen Zi's empire in Singapore and Hong Kong were also frozen, and dozens of companies and individuals were placed on the global financial sanctions list. Without deploying soldiers, the U.S. used its most powerful weapon, financial power, to shake the entire scam network. Alongside the U.S., the U.K. has joined the fight from the financial front. The U.K. Foreign Office and Treasury announced a complete freeze of assets belonging to individuals and companies suspected of laundering money for scam syndicates in Southeast Asia. Several luxury properties in London, believed to have been purchased with scam proceeds from Cambodia, are under investigation. British banks have been ordered to strictly monitor all transactions to and from the region. For the UK, cybercrime is not only a security issue, but also a money laundering threat endangering global financial stability. If the US cuts off the digital money flow, then the UK blocks the real one. Together, these two nations act like a pair of shears, cutting off both the funding channels and laundering routes of Asian scam empires, including those in Cambodia. As international pressure reached its peak, Cambodia was finally forced to act. At first, the country faced heavy criticism for turning a blind eye to scam compounds. But from mid-2025, things began to change. Hundreds of foreign nationals were arrested, including Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, Malaysian, and Myanmar citizens, all identified as scammers. Even so, this marks a rare moment when Cambodia has shown such determination. Observers believe the country now stands at a crossroads, to restore its reputation or to sink deeper into infamy if it fails to dismantle the networks completely. Given the scale and brutality of these scam syndicates, even the United Nations has spoken out. The UN Human Rights Council has called it a global humanitarian crisis, estimating that hundreds of thousands are being detained, tortured, or even killed inside scam compounds, their identities unknown. The UN urges Southeast Asian nations to establish a joint investigation mechanism and to classify forced scam labor as a modern form of human trafficking. It also called for urgent international assistance to support the victims. Meanwhile, neighboring countries have already joined the effort, some even earlier. Laos, for instance, has cooperated with Thailand and China to set up a border control zone in the Golden Triangle, once a key route for human trafficking into Cambodia. Despite political instability, Myanmar has allowed China to hunt down criminals in sensitive areas. In Vietnam, where many citizens were lured into scam jobs in Cambodia, Authorities have issued repeated warnings. Vietnamese police have rescued hundreds of citizens in coordination with Cambodia and tightened border and visa control to stop fake job recruitment networks. Meanwhile, Malaysia and the Philippines have formally demanded answers from Cambodia regarding their missing citizens. Though each nation takes a different approach, they share a common goal: to stop their citizens from being tricked into Cambodia and to eliminate the criminal transit routes fueling the scam industry. For the first time in history, a non-traditional form of crime has compelled dozens of countries to act in unison. From Korea's diplomatic campaign to China's massive crackdown, Thailand's coordination efforts, US and UK financial sanctions, and Cambodia's reluctant cleanup at the epicenter, everyone is now on the same front line.
The United Nations calls it a turning point, while the world refers to it as the global war against scams. It shows that cybercrime is no longer just about someone losing money on their phone. It has become a matter of international security, human rights, and global financial stability. In the 20th century, nations united to fight terrorism, the drug trade, and piracy. In the 21st century, a new enemy has emerged: cybercrime and transnational scams. Cambodia now stands as a mirror reflecting the dark side of the digital age, a place where human beings are turned into tools for profit by soulless criminals hiding behind screens. Yet there is a small glimmer of hope that despite differences in politics, language, and interests, the world has come together for one shared purpose: protecting human lives. It's something that Cambodia, or any nation hosting such crimes, should have done long ago. We all understand that in a world as connected as ours, no border is thick enough to block the spread of the internet, and no nation can fight this alone. The world has declared war on the scam networks in Cambodia. And this is not just a campaign. It is a historic moment when humanity realized that to protect one another in the digital era, we must rise together and declare war. Thank you for watching this story. If you found it meaningful, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share it with others. And for now, goodbye, and thank you for supporting Societal Stories.